Hello and welcome back to Capping Corner. Today we're going to talk about the Gunrunner Stakes at Fairgrounds, and as a bonus, we will also talk about the Remington Springboard Mile. They are both on the Derby Trail. The Gunrunner Stakes doesn't feature a lot of pace. We're going to talk about the pace scenario, and we're going to talk about first Liberty National, the morning line favorite at 7-2, and he looks pretty strong coming into this race. But I don't think his odds will go too low. I think 7-2 might be accurate because there are a lot of contenders in this race and no real standouts, not by a lot. So let's talk about Liberty National. Liberty National broke his maiden on November 29, and he did it in a strong manner, winning by 4 and 1/4 of a length. The significant part about this race is that the fractions were not that fast, 24 and 48, and you see the -6 and the -7 under 1C and 2C. The fractions were slow, and he still closed strong anyway. Remember, when the fractions are slow, it's harder on the closers, and the speed horses up front reserve all that energy. And besides that, it's harder to earn a fast final time when the fractions are slow because you leave all that time on the table, and there's not a lot of time left to earn a fast final time. And so the flow of the race was against him, and he still won by 4 and 1/4 of a length. And also, he earned a time that was comparable to the Kentucky Jockey Club on the same card. Let's take a look at the charts. Here we have, further ado, he won the Kentucky Jockey Club, which was race 10 on the card, in 1:43.33. You see here on their final time. And the distance was the same. And we can go up to race 7, Liberty National, same distance, he won in 1:43.41, so they were almost the same. Further ado, won by slightly faster time, but they were almost the same. It's significant that Liberty National didn't have those fractions to close into, and yet he almost earned the same final time as the Grade 2 later on in the card. So, Liberty National did overcome the pace of that race. Now, the fractions in this race might not be that fast. There are only two significant speed horses that I can find, but I think he could lay close. He was only about 3 lengths off the pace in that maiden race on November 29, and he will need to work harder to keep up with the pace in this race, but I don't think the pace will be that fast. I think he could be in a stalking position, maybe, I don't know, maybe 3, 4, 5 lengths off the pace. And I just think he could lay close enough that it won't matter if the pace is too slow. And if they go fast, well, that's better for him. So I think Liberty National is my choice in this race. I know the value won't be great. There will be other people picking him. And I think the betting public will like this horse. He was 525K, Ken McPeak. He knows what he's doing on the Derby Trail. But I'm still going to pick him. I think he'll be good enough to overcome a pace that works against him. And if the pace is fast, then it'll help him. So Liberty National, my pick in the Gunrunner Stakes. Now I want to discuss the two main speed horses in this race. You have Chip Honcho, who set the pace on November 20 in a maiden race on his way to victory. And he did break his maiden in that race. And I just wonder if he wants a mile 1/16th. Now, the pedigree says it should be okay, connect, over a Magician mare. Curlin is a grandsire. I believe Magician was a turf marathoner. I could be wrong about that. I need to double check. But I don't know. Chip Honcho gave the impression that he's a runoff. And what I mean by that, you see he was 2.5 lengths in front at the first call, 1.5 length in front at the second call. When I watched the race, I got the impression that he was a bit hard to handle. And now they're going to add blinkers. And I wonder if that's the right idea. And they're going to add Paco Lopez, who is good with speed horses. But I worry the blinkers, although they might make him more focused, they might make him even more hard to handle. And I wonder what kind of fractions he will set in this mile and 1/16th race. I just can't take him in this race. I'm gonna go with Liberty National, but I will not be surprised if Chip Honcho runs well. I also want to talk about Crown the Buckeye, who comes in from Mahoning Valley. So this is an Ohio bred, but you probably should not think of him as the typical Ohio bred. Look at the price tag, 250K. They obviously saw something in him, or there's something about his pedigree that makes him an exciting horse in terms of potential. And you see that he won 2 out of his 3 starts. and he won I think the Best of Ohio Juvenile Stakes on October 25 at Mahoning Valley. He only won by 4 1/4 of a length, but look at the gap from second to third, 13 lengths, 13 3/4 of a length. So that second place horse might be a good horse, and he had 4 lengths on him, 4 1/4 of a length. And so I think this could be a good horse. There's just not a lot of evidence yet because he's only run at Mahoning Valley, Thistledown, Belterra Park. He has never run at a top tier racetrack, but the speed figures fit 90 and 96, and I won't be surprised if he runs well. But my concern is that he's the only other speed horse in this race, and so he will have to make the first move before the far turn. And I worry making the first move will wear him out. And maybe it'll wear him and Chip Honcho both out and set it up for Liberty National or even Mesquite at the rail. I just think that it's a tough position to be in, to be the only other speed horse chasing the main speed horse, which is Chip Honcho. He could win. He could run well. I'm not going to pick him to win. I think if you use a trifecta, if you play a trifecta, you probably have to use this horse. I just can't pick him to win, knowing that he's going to make the first move, and it's going to probably tire him out, facing the best horses he has faced in his career. Let's talk about Mesquite. Now, Mesquite broke his maiden on November 7 at Churchill Downs, and he was 8 1/4 of a length off the leader in the first call. However, he had a bad start in that race. It's a start you have to watch because he did have trouble, and I just wonder if that trouble affected his early position. Maybe he has more speed than that. And let's take a look at the start and see what Mesquite did. And he's the number 2 horse in the gate. So take a look at what number 2 does in this gate. And they're going to break right now. And you see the number 2 horse gets squeezed at the start slightly. His jockey is wearing blue and black. He has a black cap on. And you see Mesquite is sort of climbing. He's running awkwardly. He's very green. And the jockey is shifting him out into the clear. I believe he's shifting him out. Yeah, he's shifting him out. He's still last, but now he's in the clear. And he's going to spend the whole backside making his way to the front. And let's skip ahead. And we see Mesquite is already on the outside. He's, 5 or 6 wide here. And usually when you go that wide, it takes some effort. And he already had a lot to do coming all the way from the back of the pack, and he made his way to the turn, and then he was 5 or 6 wide, and he's still wide right now. He's in the 3 path, and he's going to pass these 2 horses to the left of him and pick up the win. Visually, it was an impressive race, and I can't blame anyone for wanting to pick Mesquite to win the Gunrunner Stakes. I just wonder if he breaks slowly again, if he's going to be 8 or 9 lengths behind. But if he breaks cleanly, will he have more speed? That's my question. My gut feeling is that he's going to come too late. Although, if I was playing a horizontal ticket, like a pick 3 or a pick 4, I wouldn't want to leave him off. So Mesquite will be in my top 4 for this race. And let's talk about one more horse. I just want to mention, very connected, he was 4th in the Kentucky Jockey Club and 3rd in the Street Sense Stakes. I think the jury is out on the quality of those 2 races. I'm just not sure. Because the runner-up in the Kentucky Jockey Club universe comes out of the Champagne Stakes. And I have questions about the quality of the Champagne Stakes. We saw Tonkin, who was 2nd in that race, struggle badly in the Remsen Stakes. I think Very Connected might come late if there's a fast pace. I don't like him to win, but if you're playing a Superfecta, maybe you want to put him in 3rd or 4th. I don't like him to win, especially if he comes 10 lengths off the leader in the first call. I think that's going to leave him with too much to do. So, Liberty National is my choice in this race. I know the value won't be there. He's going to be a popular horse, but he's my horse in this race. And if I was going to do an exacta, maybe Liberty National over Mesquite, or maybe I would box them. So, Liberty National, Mesquite is my second choice, and those are my thoughts on the Gunrunner Stakes at Fairgrounds. Now let's move on to Remington Park and talk about the Springboard Mile. Spike's Runner is the morning line favorite in the Remington Springboard Mile, and this one has been having some problems. He lost by 15 lengths in the Kentucky Jockey Club, by 12 lengths in the Breeders' Futurity, And I know those were tougher races against better horses, but I just don't like him at 3-1 coming off those races. I know he won the Iroquois Stakes. There are some big questions about the quality of the Iroquois Stakes. And I just don't trust this horse at all. If he wins, he wins. I just don't want to bet him. I don't want to pick him. And I don't even want him in my exacta. And I think he could be beaten. So I'm not going to pick Spice Runner. I understand if people do, but he's not for me. Instead, I'm going to take the rail colt, Arctic Beast. Arctic Beast has only run in sprint races, and two of those races were at Finger Lakes, which is a lesser tire track. But still, he does have a win at Saratoga, so that's good. And he won both his races at Finger Lakes. Let's take a look at the New York Breeders' Futurity. Arctic Beast is the one moving into the lead, and he's pulling clear. I always point out when horses finish strong. In this case, it's important because he only has sprint experience, and he's switching to a 1 mile dirt race. So I think the way he finishes in this race indicates 1 mile might not be a problem. I know the pedigree is kind of shaky with Yapon on top. However, if you look at the dam, Frosty Ann competed in a variety of races, but the point is she won up to 9 furlongs. If you look at the Saratoga Dew Stakes right here, the Saratoga Dew Stakes, Frosty Ann won that race in 2018, and you can see that it's a 9 furlong race, 1 1/8 miles on the dirt. So I only point that out because she was capable of going 9 furlongs, and maybe there's enough in Frosty Ann, Frost Giant to balance out Yapon. I don't trust Yapon that much with routers, but this is a 1 mile race, and again, the dam side might balance it out. Frosty Ann did win up to 9 furlongs, and there's not a lot of pace in this race, so I do think Arctic Beast can go straight to the lead, and I think it'll be a good trip, maybe moderate fractions. He's my pick for this race. Time for Music is okay. He finished second in an optional claim at Churchill Downs. He did get a setup in that race. Notice the fractions 22 and 45 for a 1 mile race, 109. There was a horse in that race called It's Our Time. It's Our Time is a fast horse, and I think the presence of It's Our Time caused the race to sort of melt down. You see the +7 and +4 under 1C and 2C. And Time for Music was a closer in this race, so he did get a bit of a setup. I wonder if he'll be overbet. He comes from Churchill Downs, and this is Remington Park, and the public tends to bet the horses from the big tracks. And you see Churchill Downs, Keeneland. He did break his maiden at Keeneland, which is a good sign. I think we could beat him for second. Let's try to find other horses at bigger prices. We see here Essential Time. I know Essential Time is a local horse. Why would a local horse beat a horse from Churchill Downs and Keeneland? I think there's more to this horse. He won the Clever Trevor Stakes by a length and 1/4. And I think he'll love the stretch out to 1 mile. I know he didn't run that great in the 7.5 furlong race on November 6th, but that was on turf. And if you look at Essential Time's pedigree, this is a great pedigree. Secret Status down here on the dam line. She won the 2000 Kentucky Oaks. You combine that with Twirling Candy, Giants Causeway, AP Indy. This is a fantastic female family. And we go up here to Essential Quality. There's Tapit, Pulpit, AP Indy. There is route blood on top and bottom of Essential Time. And again, I know he didn't run that well in that turf race, 7.5 furlongs, but maybe he doesn't like turf. This is a dirt race, and I think he'll improve in this race, and maybe he could pick up second or third at a price. Essential Time will be in my top 4 for this race. And we can go down to Western Man. I know Western Man only has one race on November 28th. It's a local race. He broke his maiden against State Reds. And you might cross him off immediately. State Reds, what am I doing here? Why am I talking about this horse? He won by 9 1/4 of a length. I think you have to watch the race. I don't think the race is on YouTube. You have to find the race on TwinSpires or wherever you watch your race replays. Just watch that race. He won that race effortlessly, and he gave me the impression that there's a lot more in him. The one knock I have against his maiden win, he did win the race easily, but he broke slowly, and it took him some work to get to the front because he broke slowly. And I wonder if he breaks slowly in this race, is he going to give Arctic Beast too much of an advantage? But I do think he could run well in this race and possibly pick up second or third at a price. He's 20 to 1 on the morning line. So Western Man will be underneath of my tickets. And I think what I want to do in this race is key Arctic Beast and then maybe put Essential Time and Western Man underneath him. So Arctic Beast, he's my pick for the Remington Springboard Mile. I think Essential Time could be a value choice underneath. And I think Western Man, is that his name? Western Man could be another value pick underneath. And those are my choices for the Remington Springboard Mile. Good luck with your bets this weekend. Thanks for listening to this video. I know it might be kind of long because I talked a lot for the Gunrunner Stakes. Have a good weekend, everyone, and I'll see you guys soon.